Merry Mint. This is second video on Ask Your Questions. We just finished up with another Gypsy Souls questions, and I hope I answered good for you, hon. Alright, now we're moving on to Sweet Susie, is what I call her. Susie, what, Sours? Sours? Sorry if that stuff did it. She posted a few questions actually on the bottom of it, but then she posted a video VR and asked a bunch of questions. So this basically is for you, Sweet Susie. This is all your questions. I'm going to try to answer. I hope I do. Let's start off with the ones you posted on my page. Do you have a specific god or goddess you work with? If so, as a newbie, how do you know which god or goddess is correct for you? I did the same thing, what you did, but when I was doing all this, I wasn't into the YouTube thing. For some reason, it just didn't even dawn on me at the time. Hey, let's look at YouTube. You know, it didn't dawn on me at the time. And of course, that far back, I don't know if there would have been anything. So, anywho, I was there with you. I've been through this same thing that you're asking now, so don't feel bad. Do I have a specific goddess? Yes, I do. I work with Hecate, or Hecate. Everybody says it differently, so. And that bugged me too, how everybody calls the goddesses different. So that's who I work with right now. I do not work with a god. I just call him the sun god. I got my moon goddess, and I got my sun god. That's kind of how I see it. I don't have a god name. So mainly I'm a goddess girl. And as a newbie, how do you know which? That was a big one too. What I did is this reason why I asked you if you meditated. Is I went through. There's so many different ways you can meditate about it. What I did was is I looked up. Okay, what things attracted me to me? You know, like mine was. The darker half, blah 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 blah, you know. I'm not saying this right. You can look it up by, if you're, you know, your heritage, look up where you would be at and see what goddesses and gods are in that area, you know, if it's Celtic or if it's Greece, you know, Egyptian, that type of thing. You see where your past came from. And what I did was I looked around. I did a candle spell. I don't remember what it was, but it was put some oils in it for, you know, the goddess. Rubbed oils, did some herbs, lit that sucker, and asked the goddess for signs of who is my goddess. I know it sounds silly. So I said, "Who is my goddess? Who's my goddess? Please send me signs." So the next while, in my dream and outside, if I noticed a bird, I'd write it down, things like that. And I took those signs and I looked them up, what goddess those were with, that those went with, and which I already kind of had a feeling Hecate was my goddess. It's just when I picked one, that one kind of popped in. But I had a couple other ones. I was like, well, I kind of like them. I kind of like them. But with the signs that I seen, it went right with her. It went with that was supposed to be mine. So that's how I chose. Truthfully though, and I may piss a couple people off saying this, but what I've read and what I feel is there's not a billion goddesses out there. There's not. There's one. But what you call her is up to you. That's the aspect you're with. Like, you know, I'm the goddess Hecate. That's the aspect of the goddess that I'm, no, I don't like worshiping because I'm not worshiping, that I'm working with. In another month it may switch. It may be, or in a couple years it may be Morgan. That's a different aspect of the goddess. So don't get hung up, which I did the same. And I didn't have anybody to tell me this, so do not get hung up on the friggin' name. Don't. If one doesn't pop in your head or one's not pulling you, do your rituals with Moon Goddess. Moon Goddess or just Goddess. Because once you get hung up on that name, it sets you back. It did me, But once I got past that, I said, you know what? I'm not giving a shit anymore. I believe in you're my goddess. That's all that matters. I don't care about the name. So, try not to get hung up on the name. You can put it out there, do a spell. I mean, as simple as writing your question on a piece of paper. Meditate with that about, giving you signs of the goddess and burning it outside and let the wind take it away to the universe. That's a simple, easy spell for you to do. But don't get hung up on the name. Like I said, it's one goddess. It's really one God. It's on how you perceive the goddess at that time. Do you need her to be loving and caring? Goddess for you, is that what you need? Or do you need a goddess that needs to kick your ass to get you to do stuff? So, you're just looking for the aspect of what you're doing. Don't get hung up on the name. Otherwise you're just gonna, I did. Alright? I hope that helps. You, if not you, somebody out there. Alright, so. If it didn't make any sense at all, I'm sorry. Alright, these are her questions that were on her VR. Alright. I don't know if I got them all down. I picked out the ones that resonated with me. You know what the hell I'm saying. Jeez. The whole year and a day thing, I never did get that, so I just kind of... What I understand it is, it doesn't matter when you choose it, you just start it. It's not a certain day, you're the day you pick. That's what I understood. Alright. How do you know which goddess or goddess for you, which I already answered. Ask for signs, do some spell work. Don't get hung up on it. Just go on, keep going with your path. Just say goddess or moon goddess if you want. And it will come to you. It will. Once you let go, you'll get more information on how it always is. Alright, let's see here. This is what good books for beginners. And you showed me a Silver Raven book, but you said it was like mainly for teenagers. I didn't write down which one you had. It could be you have the teenage one. There is one for teenagers. I actually think this would be a great... They're great for you. And this is Silver Ravenwoods. They're not a expensive book. It's To Ride a Silver Broomstick. New Generation of Witch. And then the next one in the series is To Stir a Magic Cauldron. I think I got it right. I could have it backwards, so don't. It's been a while since. But it's. Trying to see which one's first. I think this one is. To Stir a Magic Cauldron, I believe, for. Maybe not. I hate it when they don't have a list, right? Now, To Ride a Silver Broomstick is the first one. Anyways, I'm thinking you got the teenage one. If not, and you think this, but this is the one that's got a lot of good information. I, used it. I mean, you can tell I used it. Used the shit out of it. And I might actually have. I'll have to look. I got another one of these. A second one on one of these books somehow, and I don't remember. Anywho, we'll get back onto it. On To Ride a Silver Broomstick, she's got for new beginners, I think it's good because she's very easy to understand, and a lot of the books can be real hocusy-pocusy on the words, and you just kind of get lost in the words. So, it tells you the principles of the beliefs, talks about the different traditions if you need to know. Excuse me. Talks about all the words that are in, like ruin, scrying, spell. I mean, it breaks it down to that, and then it gets into the celebrations. Gives you background on that. It helps you pick your own deity, your goddess, it's kind of like what I said, but a little bit different. She gives you several different, and why you should pick one at all. I mean, some people don't ever pick one. And it gives you a little bit on the list of the goddesses and the gods in here. They're just, it's like a 3 or 4 sentences on it, but it gives you a point to hop off on. You know, like say if you were looking at Diana, you know, Roman moon goddess and goddess of the hunt. Diana is many-faced. She is a seductress, as she enchanted her brother Lucifer to beget a raid in a form of a cat, as well as a mother figure for witches. So, if that's something resonated in you, you could take that name and go out and do more research. So, but she's got them all on here, and gods. And then she's got finding your magical name. I know was one of your questions. I can get on here and mark these stickers off. I know you asked something about magic. How do you come up with your magical name? She has a section in the book on how to come up with your magical name. It's just very, and I don't want it basic. I don't want to be rude with that and think, it was basic. But it's got the newbie question. She really does, because she's got the, how do you choose your name? Helping with your meditation, dreaming, outdoor spaces, altar spaces. Explains process of doing spells. Not a lot on this one. Is a lot on the spell work, but it's mainly, this one's mainly the before spell work stuff. To stir up magic cauldrons tells you, breaks it down. Working with more of the spell work issues. Also casting circles, devotion to elements. I loved her books. I don't know, like I said, you thought it was kind of teenagerish. Maybe you got the teenage one, because she does have one for teenagers. So, I would recommend those. Very, very much so, because, like I said, they answer a lot of these questions, and it's very simple to understand. Alright, where are we at? Alright, her question was, where do you put your altar if you have children? All my kids are teenagers, besides my grandson that lives with us and we were raising. So I had at first, I have a bookcase, one like this one back here too. Actually, it's exactly the same thing. And up here, see that the top shelf there, and I have it downstairs. When I first did this, that was my altar space. Not my working altar. That was my everyday remind. I had the candle going, things like that. So I just made sure that I had a reach for him. My working altar and stuff was in my room, away from everything. And my kids, I told you, they know I raised my kids, as you said, put a whoop ass on them. My children know not to touch my shit. But when I did put it up, I said, don't touch my stuff. Don't touch this. Don't get your cooties all over it, is what I actually said. And they laughed. They leave my stuff alone. But I did put it up high because I knew I was going to do candles and stuff on it, and I didn't want the little one getting it. But my recommendation would be put it up high. If you have a little one, which you don't, but I know you have grandkids, I don't know how much you can order. Put it up high. And tell them, please don't touch my shit. Or put a can of whoopers at them. Really, I would. Like I said, I recently did it all downstairs. in my bedrooms where all this was actually at. It was really clustered. Until recently when my daughter moved out with her, my other grandson and her boyfriend moved out, did I get an extra room up here, so I made it my witching room. I like it, I really do. So, that would be my, on your altars. You can do it anytime. I mean, you can make it, well, if you're afraid people to know, you can, then a lot of times it doesn't look like an altar. It's not like we're putting bloody chicken heads or anything on it. You know, just some, usually it's, you know, statues and some candles and so. Alright. What is the best spell for beginners? I love you, girl, because you just hit them. I don't really have a what's best for beginner spell. They really don't, hun. Like I said, in here she explains how to do spell work. I would go with, if I had my own sisters and I was the priestess, whatever you want to call it. If I was doing that and I had to do, you know, I was teaching, which I guess I am teaching, kind of you. I would say to do, like the one I was explaining to you, where you, not with a lot of things, like writing it out, burning it outside, letting, you know, the air and elements take your either your question or your whatever it was on that paper out to the universe. Simple spell words like that. Candle spells are really easy. I didn't say easy, but you don't need a lot of stuff to do them. I mean, you can do them with, I mean, wham bam thank you man. You can have herbs all over, you can have oils all over, you can have crystals, and, you know, you can make any spell as little as you want, basic as you want, to voila! That's how it is. So, it's hard to say where this spell's beginner. I got the Encyclopedia of Spells. I know you all, let me get it. Don't mind my ass, guys. My dad showed my ass in there. I got this a while back, but I think this type of book, Encyclopedia of 5,000 Spells by Judiki Ills, Judiki, and Ills, I-L-L-E-S. I know you know what, you've seen them, but they are fucking expensive books. You're looking at $30 on up dollars for these books. They're expensive. I so happened, it was a miracle that I got this, but I think this would be a good thing for you because it's kind of like a starting base for you. As always, make the spells your own. As always, make the spells your own. Which is kind of, you know, I've seen a lot of witches. I watched videos and seen this book on their shelves, and they're been in it way longer than I have. So I think it's funny. But we all like to see what each other do. So yeah, I would suggest this. But like I said, it's expensive, girl, and I know you're like me. We're broke ass bitches. So it may be something you can save up for. But it has a lot of. I mean, it's all spells. This is a big freaking book. I've gotten a few things out of it and mixed and matched with my own stuff. I thought, ooh, that's a good idea. You know, I'm kind of either incorporated it or took a piece of that into mine. But I know starting out, you'll probably want to do, just to get the feel for it, just do the spells like they are. But I like this book too because it explains. She just doesn't give you, she explains. I mean, a lot of the book is just about the dolls, the fabrics, mortal and pestle. I mean, she explains a lot. Animal spells. I mean, she explains like that much of the book here is just kind of going over how to do spells, things like that. Good spell. I mean, for a basic spell, I think this would be good for you then. If you're wanting something, you're really wanting to something in writing. But anything else I'm gonna tell you, you need to do your own. But at first, you know, take one you know and kind of work with it. And I'm going on 20 minutes again. Alright, let's try to finish up here. We got graveyard dirt. You asked about. The way I understand graveyard dirt is you do not take it from the grave. No. You know how you go into a cemetery, you know, off kind of to the side? You can take some of that. That's what you would use for graveyard dirt. Let's see here. How do you come up with your magical name? There are lots of different ways to come up with your magical name. You could probably look online. They probably give you a couple of you to look which is magical name. She has it in her book. How to come up with your magical name. Mine, I came up with mine through meditation and just came up with it. Mainly through meditation. The first part of mine, and it's not what I use on here. Dragonfly is, that part is part of my magical name. Crystal is my normal name. But my magical name that I use in spell work and stuff like that is blank dragonfly. It's not crystal. So it can be things that you're drawn to, you can use for your name. You can meditate on it. What's the first thing that comes in your head when I say choose a magical name? Write it down. That could be possibly it. There's got to be something in your back of your head going, ooh, this. Pick that. Maybe, or pick, you know, if it's just one name, you know, put that down and work on the rest. That's what I would say. But meditate on it's a good one too. What's the minimum for altar setup for the board? Oh God, girl, I love you. It was a big thing too for me when I first started because it's holy shit, that shit's expensive. You know what the minimum for your altar setup it can be? It's just a black and white. You need a black candle and a white candle. And I know they say you get you a, I don't even fucking remember the name of it, but the little like silver with the star on it, put on the, you know, you put stuff on. I'm having a brain fart. You can make that yourself. You can get a piece of wood and make your own pentacle on it to sit on your altar. Basically like that, and you need something to represent earth, air, fire, water. Get you some water. Go out inside, grab some dirt, air, do an incense for air, or a feather, and fire, you know, one of your candles can be for fire. That's all you really need. You do not need to buy a bunch of shit. I mean, I've showed, I don't know if you've seen it, but go back and look at my altars. There's not a lot of stuff on it. At all. I mean, they're very, see this one back here, that's my air. I'm very much into the elements separately. I have little altars for each of them, but it's nothing huge. It's just up here I was able to spice it out. Downstairs I had this little shelf I had off to work. Had a little thing of water, you know, a little thing of earth with a candle. So, I mean, the only thing I really have is little angels. They look like angels. I got it in Dollar Tree for $1 each that I have with those. Here's waters. And I put them in the right direction. Here's waters. Here's the blue, you know, water. This is wish on it. And I have seashells over here that I've already had. So, you know, use what you got, hun. Go outside and get what you got. But like I said, minimum, you really don't have to have anything. But minimum, I would go with the white and black candle for your goddess and God. Need something representing your elements, which I just explained. And these. That's it, really. That's all you need for your altar. If it's your working altar, that's all you need. If you want to put it, you know what I did at first when I didn't have statues or anything, which I think you'll see on one of my, if you go back and look at the one where I showed the room, is I printed off pictures offline of like the goddess that brought me to it. These pictures of her and the moon and things, and I put those up behind my altar for you, you know. So that's what I did. It was a cheap way. There you go. So it's all, you know, I know it's very, you see all this, and it's expensive. But you don't have to do all that. Most of your herbs you can get a lot of them just from the grocery store, or just go outside and collect. But yeah, for the poor, sitting up, there you go, hon. Because I'm right with you. I don't have a lot either. Didn't at first. I mean, I'm really, when I think about how far I've been, I'm like, woohoo! But look at some of these ladies' altars, like, oh my god. But, and you look at how long they've been doing it. So, don't get discouraged just because you can't afford it. It's hard, I know, but don't get discouraged. Print off a picture of your goddess and put it by your altar. Since you can't afford that $40, $50 statue, you know? Alright, and what helped you learn Kara was the other one. And I don't have the deck up here, so I'm going to actually stop with that because I don't have it up here. Son of a bitch. And I will actually hit you up. I'll message you on that one. That was the last question. Many blessings, Susie. I hope I made some sense to you. I really do. Any more questions or something that you didn't quite understand me saying, hit me up. And anybody else out there watching me, I hope I helped you. If not, I'm sorry. Much love, much happiness, blessings, and all that other BS. No, I'm just kidding. Have a great week. Go out and enjoy the weather before it gets cold and shitty. Bye.